Bible Stories with Lumina, the Tall Tower and the Scattered People. Hello friends, I'm Lumina, and I'm so glad you're here to explore the wonders of the Bible with me. Today, we are traveling back to a very special time in history. Long ago, the whole world spoke only one language and used the same words. Imagine that everyone on earth could understand each other perfectly. It was a time of great unity, but as we will see, what matters most is what we do with the gifts God gives us. As people moved across the land, they traveled toward the east and found a beautiful, wide plain in a place called Shinar. They decided to settle there together. Among the people were many clever workers, including a builder named Adnah and a planner named Bricks. They looked out at the vast, empty land and began to dream of something bigger than anyone had ever seen before. The people said to each other, "Come, let us make bricks and bake them thoroughly." They didn't want to use stone. They wanted to make their own materials. Adnah worked hard at the kilns, firing the clay until it was strong and red. Bricks used tar from mortar to hold the bricks together. They were very proud of their skill and how well they worked as one team. But then their ambition grew. They said, "Come, let us build ourselves a city with a tower that reaches to the heavens so that we may make a name for ourselves. Otherwise we will be scattered over the face of the whole earth." Adnah began the heavy work of carrying bricks up the rising walls. They wanted to be famous and powerful, relying only on themselves instead of God. The tower grew taller and taller, piercing the clouds. Bricks stood on a high balcony, looking down at the world below. The people felt they were becoming like giants. They were so focused on their tall tower and their own glory that they forgot to honor the Creator who gave them the ability to build in the first place. But the Lord came down to see the city and the tower the people were building. He saw that they were unified in their pride. God knew that because they spoke one language, nothing they planned to do would be impossible for them. But they were heading in a dangerous direction, turning away from Him to worship their own achievements. To help the people and stop their proud plans, God said, "Come, let us go down and confuse their language so they will not understand each other." Suddenly, the building site became very noisy and confusing. When Bricks tried to give a simple direction, Adnah couldn't understand a single word. It sounded like gibberish. The work on the great city and the tower came to a complete stop. Adnah sat down on a pile of unused bricks, his tools lying forgotten in the dust. Without being able to talk to one another or share a common goal, the people couldn't continue their project. The tower that was meant to bring them fame became a symbol of their confusion. Because they could no longer understand their neighbors, the people began to move away in groups with those who spoke the same new language. Bricks gathered his belongings and joined a small group heading toward distant mountains. From that place, the Lord scattered them over all the earth. The city was named Babel, which means, quote, confusion. Isn't it amazing how important our words and our hearts are? The people of Babel tried to reach heaven on their own, but true greatness comes from walking humbly with God. When we use our talents to honor Him, He brings us together in the best way possible. I hope you enjoyed this story. I'll see you in the next chapter of the Bible.